Yeah, it's my business.
So to answer your question, since people are already getting their Facebook notifications, I love it for you to say something. Not about me, but about what we're learning. It's something touch you, surprise you, make you have questions, bring up other thoughts. And we're gonna, this learning is going to be dedicated to Ilui Nishmat Baruch, I guess Ben Avraham, I don't know his full name, but I just heard today that a childhood friend of my Zaydis was niftar today. No, not today, last week. A special man who lived through the Shoah, grew up with my Zaydi in Poland. Both of them lived through the Shoah, met up with each other in a DP camp. Baruch made it to Tel Aviv with his wife, and they built a family here, and he's like a pretty impressive man. But the learning will be in his Ilui Nishmato. At the back. We're going to be learning tonight from a few pieces from Tzav Ziruz. This is the Rebbe's spiritual journal, which he wanted to be read. And the teachings we're going to look at tonight, I don't know if we'll get through all of what I printed here, but specifically have to do with seeking God in the world, seeking to connect to God through nature, through the world itself. And as you'll see, this is kind of a different style from the drashot. We see it in Derech HaMelech, even in Kodesh. This is much more the Rebbe's like soul poetry. I'll just share with you personally some of the things that are moving me to focus in these teachings. First of all, it's pretty amazing, as you see, just the way the Rebbe talks about this kind of contact with God and looking mamash to this world, the world, to find the Creator. This is not about getting beyond the world. This is not about transcending the world. This is about mamash, seeing, touching, feeling the world itself. Another thing is I'm thinking it's almost Adar. And so the first day I was feeling was like, wow, this week was really warm. And it just kind of like, tonight's already, in a different direction. But as the seasons change, like there's something else that kind of perks up. And Bichlal, Purim is, the revelation of God into just the way things are, the way things happen. It's like not a breaking the rules kind of way. It's not a transcendent, spiritual, quote unquote, kind of way of reaching out and connecting God. It's like really, really, really the God revelation in this world reality that's constant and total. That's what Purim is touching. So I want to look this week, hopefully next week too, in teachings that are kind of looking in that direction. Okay. And we'll see also the Rebbe just has such a radical and unique application of the Baal Shem Tov's Torah. Baal Shem Tov's Torah just becoming something where this is what the Baal Shem Tov said, and how do we live that? Mm-hmm. And not like make some kind of like vort out of it, but if the Baal Shem Tov said this, it's got to be there, and I'm going to look for it. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shakol. So let's go in. If I say something Hebrew, English, whatever language that you don't catch, stop me, ask. Feel free to enter in whatever you want to share. And we're going to start with piece Kaftet 29 and Tzav Ziruz. I noticed when I made the printing, not on this one is the same. One of the printings is a little bit different in my version and the version that's printed. So, says the Rebbe, Olam, Olam, world, et sodcha eni yodea, v'achar sodcha lo echkor. Your secret, I don't know. And to find your secret or to chase after your secret, I am not going to investigate. Because if I were to separate out one detail, one piece of you, and adameh lahavino, and imagine that I understood that one, even that one single piece, tereh da'ati b'marom kim torafa, v'libi af be'enai kim metumtam. My da'at, my knowledge and understanding from heaven's perspective, from the vision on high, will seem like nonsense, like insane, like it's just craziness. V'libi af be'enai kim metumtam. Even in my own eyes, I'll see that my heart is foolish and closed up. Meaning the Rebbe starts saying he's talking to the world. World, your secret, I'm not going to imagine that I can come to understand. Because any bit of understanding I get from any small particle of you, any small piece of you, I know. I already know, and heaven knows. It's nothing, whatever I can come to understand it. אבל אם אתבונן כי כולך סוד מסודי השם. But if I mitbonen, if I contemplate and meditate on the idea that kulcha sod misodei Hashem, I look at you with the perspective that you, in your entirety, the whole world is a secret of God's secret. Again, I'm not trying. First, he said, I'm not going to try to investigate small parts of you to understand. But if I take the perspective that the whole world is God's secret. Ufratiyut yideotecha, rak me'alume hasod umistorei razav. And when coming to know details of you, small parts of you, each one is simply another way that secret is hidden, another way that hiddenness is concealed from me. Min hashotim asher yitchakmu lahavinhen. As if a fool who comes to think that they understood something. Meaning it's an unknowable kernel, but knowable to the extent where I acknowledge that it's like a fool who thinks they know something. Mm-hmm. You hear the admission here. The Rebbe is saying, I know that I can't know. I know that the world is a mystery that I cannot understand. But if I approach it with the perspective that it is infinitely mysterious in its entirety, and any small bit of it that I come to know is just another way of not understanding the world. Az behistakli besodcha sod Hashem. So then when I look upon your secret, your godly secret, gam lihiyot min metei sodo lif'amim amim. Then also to be included among those who approach the secret, I'll be able to get there once in a while. And once in a while I'll be able to rise and touch that mystery. Puzzle. It's a little puzzling. Yeah, it's a paradoxical, right? The Rebbe is saying the world is God's mystery, and it's unknowable. And to think that I'm going to know it merosh, already from the get-go, I know that anything I'm going to know is nonsense. But if I keep the perspective that it's all a secret, that it's all unknowable, and I know that any small bit that I come to apprehend is another layer of hiddenness, so I may then merit to just touch the mystery, to enter into the secret from time to time. It doesn't become knowable all of a sudden. He becomes min metei sodo. Somehow I get to enter into it. He's not saying I'm going to know it now, but he's saying I'm going to be able to know something of it, even if what I know is that it's a secret. It's the not knowing that's the knowing. Wow, it's like a big statement. but it's seeking to know something that you acknowledge you can never know. It's seeking it anyway. But not from a narrow-minded place of this time I'm going to, knowing Merosh, this isn't about me mastering or understanding your secret. This is about me doing what I can, striving to come closer to it. Kiddushenu Baal Shem Tov Amar, our holy teacher Baal Shem Tov said, "Shebehistakel ha'ish b'cha, et adoncha adon ha'olam ro'eh." Baal Shem Tov said that when a person looks upon you, they're looking at your master, the master of the universe. As the Rebbe says in another place in Savazir, in the name of the Baal Shem Tov, that when we look upon the world, we're looking at God, and God is looking back at us. This is a teaching he says from Baal Shem Tov. This is Baal Shem Tov's teaching us that when we look at the world, we're seeing the Creator. Ve'ani im l'riyazu ba'ali lo zechiti. And as for me, he says, if having this kind of clear vision that I see God when I see the world, I haven't merited this. Ve'im lahabit bifnei ha'adon lo higati. And if I have not arrived at the place to gaze upon the face of the Master, Zot al kol panim hitzasti she'adoncha b'sodcha mistater. At the very least, this much I've glimpsed, that your Master is hiding within your secret. If I don't get to see God in front of my naked eye all the time, and I don't have that clear vision, at the very least, I've seen enough to know that God is hiding in your world. That God is hiding there. There's so many associations that are coming up for me right now, but one of them is Mamash, we just read on Shabbos, one of the most shocking parts of the Torah. Right, before Matan Torah, get away from the mountain, you can't come close, you can't touch it, you're going to die. Later in the Torah, it talks about the Yesar Tidibra, you can't see God, God is overwhelming, you'll die. What happens at the end of Parashat Mishpatim? It's like, okay, you, come on up the mountain. And Vayechazu et Elohei Israel, they gaze upon God, and they see the footstool, and they eat, and they drink. Like there's some kind of approach and ability to just kind of come up there and see something. It's a shocking thing, which is probably why nobody ever talks about it. Like, what are we supposed to do with that, you know? That's one thing that just these words, Bifnei Ha'adon, it's the Lashon from the Shalosh Regalim, three festivals, that you come and you are seen before the face of God. But the Rebbe is saying, if I don't get to see you, at the very least, what I've glimpsed, I know that God is hidden within you. Now listen to what he says. Lo et hester vet he'adro bilvad ra'iti. It's not just that I see that God is hidden from me. The absence, the hester. It's not just that I look at the world and I say, I can't see God. I can't see God. I can't see God. Rak gam et ha'or v'gam et ha'hester. I see in the world both God's light and God's hiddenness. Et hasod ki orhu ra'iti. What I've seen is that the secret is itself a light. I've seen the revelation of God in the way that I notice God being hidden from me, being mysterious, being concealed from me. I see the mystery. I don't just see absence, but I can somehow behold the hiddenness. You hear the Purim connections like in here, yeah? Esther, Achashverosh, you know Achashverosh, as also says his name is Mekor and Choshech. Like, somebody said, maybe the Marsha. Et hasod ki orhu ra'iti. I see the secret. I don't break the secret, but I see the secret. Kshehistakalti shesod ata. He's still addressing the world in the second person. When I look upon you, that you are a secret. Libi v'nafshi hasaga uriya nitmalu. My heart, my soul, are filled with a kind of vision and an apprehension, a kind of knowing. But if I then want to try to inquire and understand, what is that thing that I feel, and what is this? It disappears. There's no vision anymore. There's no comprehension anymore. There's no feeling anymore of that mystery. Shuv hester v'tulo. Now, then it brings me immediately back to that place where you're just. Does this sound familiar at all? I'm not asking that to think we're like on the Rebbe's level, but what does it really mean anyway for us to think that, to have like connection with God, a feeling of godliness, feeling that there is God, of a presence of holiness? What is that? It's not something defined and discrete. It's not something that, well, if it feels this way in your left arm and this kind of color when you close, then you know there's no any kind of grasping makes you lose it. But to stand in the presence of God is to be filled with a sense of the mystery that's before you. And once we try to kind of then hold on to that, then we can't hold on. Then it's gone. No more vision. Now Rabbi starts to beg. Lama titchamek kol kach olam. Why are you so evasive, world? Why are you holding back so much? Lama yitparu haborim litkashem bach. Why do you allow fools to have such to get to such a place where they think that you're just a chunk of matter? When the truth is that you are the window into the king's palace, the king's chamber. Why, world, do you let us not see what you really are? By the way, just the very fact that the Rebbe is talking to the world, just think about that, That itself is expressing itself. Like the Baal Shem Tov tells me that if I turn to the world, this is where I'm going to find God. So I'm going to talk to the world. I'm just going to talk to you. Who's the Ata? You're just talking to the world. Ata. You. Right, it kind of breaks that whole paradigm of the universe. Like if we don't want to talk about God, people say the universe. The universe, yeah. Olam. What is the word? What do we call the world? We call the world Olam. It means hidden place. It means hidden place. So he's just saying, okay, God, you're hiding here. I'm going to talk to you here in hiding. I don't see you. I don't understand. But I know that that's where I need to turn That's where I need to turn. That's where I need to orient myself. That's what I have to relate to. That's how you're being present to us. So that's where I'm going to turn to you. Why do you exhaust our hearts and oppress the soul that's thirsty for you? Haseret hamasach. Remove the veil. Ve'efsa derech pitchacha. And I will walk through your opening. El makom kedoshenu, to the place of our Holy One. V'sham et ba. And there I will drown. Ein omer ve'ein varim. This is from Tehillim. There's no one speaking. There's no words. Umarabu divrechem b'li nishma kolchem. But how powerful, how great are your words b'li nishma kolchem, without you even making a sound, without hearing your voice. Right? The world isn't talking to me. You're not saying anything to me, but you're saying so much without making a peep. Kitzadikim gdolim amukei machshava toarchem. The description of you, or your image, is your toar, right? Your image. You are like the greatest righteous ones of the deepest awareness and knowledge. And you appear like the ones who are attached and immersed in the highest secrets. Right? He's looking at the world with awe. Like you are the greatest tzaddikim that are possibly imaginable. You are the ones who are truly the world in plural. Everywhere in plural, just attached in the deepest secret. Bishtikatchem, in your silence, cherdat Elohim aleinu tapilu, you befall upon us, trembling before God. The awe of God, the fear of God comes from just beholding your silence. And through your attachment to God, we are able to also attach to our Creator. I think just to try to give some words to that last line of what I relate to, in your dveikut, I'm able to be mitabek to Hashem. To be able to behold the natural world as, or anything in the world, the whole world's the natural world. But I want to make it like just not even distinguish like you have to be in a beautiful place. It's maybe more accessible in a beautiful place, but to have that perspective or these like moments of seeing something in the world as being God's creation, right? Something that emerges from the Creator. So there already I'm able to have a sense of dveikut too. From your attachment, from perceiving how the world is an extension, a revelation of godliness, I too become attached to God. This is bringing back a memory for me. I was once somewhere down south in like on a hike in the Negev and saw this like beautiful desert valley and hill, and two thoughts I came to. One was, wow, this is here all the time. Like just looking at it in its silence, in its present, and just thinking, it's here wherever I am, this is here. And I remember telling myself, this was years ago, and telling myself, I want to remember that from time to time. Like, I want to remember that this is here. Ashrei ha'ish ha'oved et Hashem bachem. Fortunate, more than fortunate. Ashrei is a word that's so hard to translate. The best is to a person who's able to serve God, bachem, through you, b'ma'aseh u'v'machshava ke'achat, both through action and through thought as one. For action, thought, doing avodat Hashem to be in line with this presence of the world itself. V'im machem yachad, and together with you, avodato laHashem echad, to serve God as one, or to serve the one. I had the privilege yesterday, kind of like really out of the ordinary, to talk to a group of young women in Midrashah here for the year. They wanted to talk to somebody. They're having like visiting Yerushalayim and getting like a taste of Chassidut. So they spent time in like Chassidish shul and with some families or whatever. But they wanted to talk to somebody. What's it like having Chassidut as like a path of serving God and to not be Haredi, to not be like part of the Chassidish community? So we talked for a while. It's like modern Orthodox, American, Canadian students. And one thing I said to them is, we're so used to religion being compartmentalized. Where's the place where holy stuff happens? It's in shul, it's on Shabbos, davening, when I do a certain thing. It's like a few seconds or minutes out of my day, a few hours in the week, a couple times a year, it's a little more intense. And this is about just saying, like, no, the starting point is completely different. The starting point is the world is filled with holiness, and it's our job to find it, to seek it and find it. Ashrei ha'ish ha'oved et Hashem bachem b'ma'aseh u'machshava ke'echad v'imachem yachad avodato laHashem echad. Is the world ever not engaged in avodat Hashem? Is the Bria ever taking a moment of not? The world itself is that. The world itself is in harmony with God. How do I bring my connection with God to be a little more of that? How do I have a conception of what I'm doing here and who my Creator is and how we interact in a way that's going to be more with the world and not something that sort of exists outside of the world in these little pockets that we've prescribed. Like, if anything, the mitzvot are the specific ways to teach me to develop that perspective on life. tefillah, the tefillot that are written and prescribed are the way to teach me what it means to really pray, to talk to my Creator. But we're given the opposite education. We're taught like, okay, you're a person, here's the religion, this is what you do to do stuff to get close to God. And sometimes that works, but there's also a lot that's left out. Min ha'olam v'yad ha'olam, gam yachad. This is also the pasuk, min ha'olam v'yad ha'olam. Okay, what's the whole pasuk? Min ha'olam v'yad ha'olam, ata el. Okay? From the edge of the earth to the edge of the earth, from world to world, from every layer and every level of being. Meresh kol dargin ad sofa kol dargin, now in the Zohar, from the head, the height, the origin of all levels, to the end, the bottom point of all levels. Min ha'olam v'yad ha'olam ata el. From the origin of the world to the end of the world. Ata el. That's all that it is. It's you. I've never read before a love poem from a Rebbe to the world. Yeah? A little bit, I'm thinking of actually now Rav Kook's poetry. He talks similarly about the secret, show me your secret. I don't know what's about Peh, but maybe we'll bring that next week. And the only other, and it's interesting that these people are all living around the same time.
We were discussing actually today when we were learning Rav Kook's, the Piaseczna's brother, who came to Eretz Israel.
He was very close to Rav Kook, yeah. The other place, and maybe I'll bring this next week, is if you've ever read Heschel, yeah, Rav Heschel. So he not only in his kind of books on religion and philosophy and theology, but Heschel wrote poetry as a young man. And in his poems, he talks about this love, passionate love affair with the world also. There seems to be these people from, all of them in one way or another, coming from this deep Kabbalistic Hasidic perspective in the, first 20, 30 years of the 20th century, just like erupting with this sense of, I'm seeking God now in the world. I'm seeking God now in the world. I'm not seeking God outside of the world. I'm seeking God in the world.
It's Yiddish poetry.
Yeah. You've seen the volume.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the second piece. I just want to say that this line of like, Et hasod ki orhu ra'iti, it's just like such a profound way to express what a spiritual feeling is, a religious feeling. Et ha'or ki sodhu. I saw that the light is the secret. That not seeing you and not grasping you is the way I can know you. Not as an intellectual, ideological kind of statement, but as an experience. An experience, being touched by something you don't know. And knowing that's what's right there. Right?
Also, it says Sham and it also comes from the meaning of Tzil.
What do you mean?
That by him going into the place of concealment, he becomes concealed.
Right. Let me be subsumed in your hiddenness.
It begs the question, sort of, if our seichel can't perceive it, if our emotions, description of emotions, are inadequate in apprehending it, then what exactly of us is connecting to God at that moment? It's beyond us, I guess, in a certain sense. It is Hashem. That is the experience of it. Because our seichel can't. Clearly, our seichel has no part in this game, and our emotions perhaps are even too coarse, but that's the part that's reflected in us.
There's a piece of us that belongs. A piece of us that belongs. Open your curtain and let me drown in it. Okay. So now we're going to see, this was like a piece of like rapture, you know. Now we're going to see another piece which has a little more angst. There it is. So this is the last piece in Safaziras. Here there's going to be some shibush and some differences in the version. I think what I've printed on the pages is an older printing, and the one I have here is a newer one, but we'll do what we can. This is from Motzei Shabbos, first night of Slichot, Tafresh Peitet. I believe that means 1929, right? After Ashkenazim start saying Slichot the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah. So it's like an intense night of pouring yourself out to God.
That is 29.
29.
I know the massacre in Hebron. Like 29, and I remember seeing it.
Nil'eti daber el b'nei ha'adam. I am worn out, sick and tired of speaking to people. Ulachriz lahem she'Hashem hu Elokim. And to announce to them and cry out to them, Hashem hu Elokim. You know, the ultimate being of all, being the source of all existence, is Elokim, is the force, is the, permeates every single thing that is. He's like, I'm tired of screaming this to people. Koreani, Halo Hashem lenegidechem. I call out, do you not know that God is right before you? In your doings, in your thoughts, the glory of God's holy being is revealing itself. In feeling your entire world is nothing other than God's world. And they hide their heads and their entire selves, their whole being within themselves. They don't listen. In all of your innards, your insides, in all your happenings, God it fills and is even visible. I mean, he's saying there's nothing you see or perceive that is not God revealing to you. There's nothing else that exists. This is what the Rebbe says. This is all I'm doing, all I'm teaching, all I'm saying. And they don't want to hear me. But what are they doing? What are people doing? They're coming up with all kinds of stories and explanations and come on. This is stuff. God is somewhere else. So here there's the lines get it says there's something missing. Goes on here, and they're still expecting to then hear something from the Hadur Na'aziv Ha'olam, the beautiful, pleasant light of the world. Okay, I'm going to skip now, and now I think our versions will pick up together. So Ekani, you see what it says? So Ekani Shim'u et Dvar Hashem. I'm screaming. Hear Dvar Hashem, hear Hashem speaking. Eich lihitnaheg, how to act, how to be. B'chol tznuot nafshechem v'gufchem. In all of the movements of your soul and in your body. Asher lifnei Hashem hima. God's telling you what to do, how to be. It's all in God's presence. Aval tachu ba'hevel shehe'elilu ineihem u'vageshem shebadu libotam. But they cement themselves in the vapidness that their eyes have come up with, and in the material that they've fabricated from their hearts. Right? They just keep themselves attached to the story of separateness that they've come up with. Kfar nichar groni, he says, my throat is scorched. Nechleshu rayonotai, my thoughts have, I've got nothing, I can't think of anything else. I'm weak. My ideas, my thoughts are weak. The greatest visions of my soul have almost been totally just astounded. I'm about to get to the point of being just totally silent and falling. God forbid. This is, a Rebbe telling us what it's like to try to share what he knows with the rest of us. And here he's saying, I'm fed up. I've got nothing else to say to people. Telling them, I'm saying it, I'm sharing everything I can, I'm trying my best. And I have nothing. But there's nothing else I can say. It's intense, huh? Shavti b'leil Shabbat Kodesh min hashulchan. Because I got up on Shabbos, on Friday night from the table. Nil'eti ve'en shomei li. I was just exhausted. Nobody's listening to me. Itchalti ledaber leha'olam ba'atzmo. So I started to talk to the world itself. It's interesting, in Yiddish, in Jewish talk, the world, like the Welt, means like the people around you. It's like the Olam, It's like I left the Olam to go talk to the Olam. I left these people to go to just talk to the world. Patachti et chaluni. I opened up my window. V'ra'iti et ha'olam. I saw the world. V'hinei ad sofo umedhu. And there it is. The world is just standing there all the way from here to the end of the world. V'daber el ha'olam ba'atzmo. And I started to talk to the world itself. B'chol libi karati lo Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. With my entire heart, I just called out Shema. Right? Kriyat Shema. You know what Kriyat Shema means? It's calling something. Calling. It's a calling out. Kriyat Shema. And it's like a pronouncement. I shared this with you when we saw this, but the image in my head, besides just like the amazing concept of imagining the Rebbe at like the Friday night Suda or the Tish and just like getting up from the table, turning his back on everybody and going to the table and screaming out the window. Right? This is what he's saying. He's like, this is what I did on Friday night because, so. You just imagine that image. It's awesome. But this also reminds me that of Menachem Truman himself. He used to walk around Teko all the time with his tefillin on. And he would just stop in the street and Shema Yisrael, just scream Shema. I mean, he'd walk around talking all the time. Walk around like this, But he'd walk around Teko and just say Shema. There's someone, if you know that there's someone listening, if you know that there's someone to talk to, so like, do it. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. So he calls out Kriyat Shema, Kol ha'olam nizdazeh uma, and it's as if the whole world started trembling and shaking. So Ta'ir eret michvodecha, let the world be filled with light from your glory. Baruch Hashem bayom, Baruch Hashem balayla. Bless God by day, bless God by night. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yitzir Nifra Le'inasah B'chefzakol Zay Melech Shmo Nikra. Just calling to the world. Finally, his words have somewhere to go. Finally, there's someone who can hear. He doesn't have opposition anymore. V'chol ha'olam umlo bol'im kol hega kadosh hayotze derech libi ufi. And the whole world and all that fills it is swallowing, absorbing every holy utterance that comes out of my heart and my mouth. Let me just imagine the relief of finally having somebody who gets it. I finally get someone who gets it. So then what happened? Nafshi hitchazka. My soul got strength from it. V'chol mekor rayonotai. That source, right? That wellspring of all of my thoughts, right? He said before that his thoughts were weakened. Right? It's like the source got dried up. He says the wellsprings of thought and feeling, shav lichyot. They restored, they were revived, they came alive again. Umeata, gamba bayit, gamba chutz. And from now on, whether I'm inside, whether I'm outside, gamim yesh shomei li, gamim ein shomei. Whether there's someone to listen to me and hear me, whether there's nobody to hear me, mutav li ledaber tamid el ha'olam. better for me to always just talk to the world. Olamo Shem HaKadosh Baruch Hu. God's will. וכשהעולם יתקדש, and when the world becomes filled with holiness, אפשר גם העם הנמצא בו עמו יתקדש. It's possible that the people who are within the world will also become holy along with it. If I can talk to the world, if I can share holiness with the world and get that kind of response, get the holy nature of the world to let itself be known more and more, maybe the people inside it too are going to be edified. We said before, so, I'm going to put it's like a holy air diffuser. I've been spoon-feeding, I'm sure I've been trying to give it to people, and they're like, oh, sorry. Okay, no. It's okay, Rebbe. It's very beautiful, but nothing. But if you just put it in the air, if it's just in the air that they're breathing, and in the sounds, and in the visions, and it's like, okay, maybe that's the way. Maybe I just need to not try to force it into the people who don't want to hear it, and just work on this cosmic level of talking to the world, of saying, you know that I know what you know I know. So let's just do this avoda together, me and the world. It sounds also like it maybe took him out of that loneliness. I think the only one who could, it's like if nobody understood what he had to share and nobody could relate, he finally found a place, finally found someone to relate to, someone to share that with. I was like, oh, the world is there. So let me just spread that. Let me just put that in more and more. Miknaf haaretz zmirot yashmir is a pasuk, I think, from Yeshayahu, which says, from the edges of the earth, songs will be heard. Miknaf haaretz zmirot yashmir, right? If the world becomes holy, maybe the people inside it can be holy. Let the song emerge from the earth. People won't be able to deny it then. We'll infuse the world with more and more holy knowledge, and then the people too will get it. Maybe less directly, maybe it'll take longer, I don't know. But to just say it, knock people over their heads, he's going to end up just knocking himself in there.
There's a statement from the Baal Shem Tov on the Pasuk in Shir Hashirim, Nafshi Yatsa B'Dabro, that when we speak, actually our soul, in a sense, leaves our body. And the way it's replenished is if the yad of the speech, if the place our speech is going, is a place of kedusha, a place that was supposed to uplift and connect and reveal godliness. So it sounds like there's sort of a potential implicit reference to that the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov here, where he's so ne'elah, he says, Nafshi hitchazka, that I become drained because my words have just been misfiring and not hitting the right destination. But with the olam, we never have that. But there's other
there's a resonance. When you talk to somebody who understands you, it gives back. You get more. And you get renewed also. Like a bounce back. Right. We've seen in a number of pieces also there, and also Neish Kodesh, the Rebbe quotes the Baal Kabbalah. Speech isn't just words. There's carrying the soul out. We speak from a place inside of us, and it gets enclosed and embodied by the words that we say. How is to be known? How is to be revealed? Our speech does that. So it seems like the Rebbe really had this avoda of talking to the world. We're just talking to the world.
Who was Mordechai screaming at me? He was running through the streets in sackcloth.
And he's talking to the world as addressing the world that knows God. Like the world where God is known, where the assumptions are shared. Yeah? You know that? Like, I saw before we get to the next piece, I saw an amazing thing in the Gemara today that brought this together for me. The Gemara in Brachot, there's a Mishnah that says, Al ta'aseh tfilatcha keva el rachamim v'tachanumim. Remember the exact word. But don't make your prayer fixed. Rather, let it be rachamim v'tachanumim, just words of beseeching, begging, requesting, compassion. So then the Gemara tries to understand, well, what does it mean, keva? What does it mean to have a fixed prayer? What does tachanumim mean? Like, how are we supposed to understand that? So there's a bunch of opinions. And then there's one opinion which says, anyone who doesn't pray with dimdumei chama is keva, is making a prayer of keva, fixed. Dimdumei chama means the bleeding of the sun, the reddening of the sun. And that means both in the morning and both in the evening, at sunrise and at sunset. If you pray when the sun is not red, when there isn't color in the sky, it's a fixed prayer. There's no rachamim, there's no tachnunim, you're not begging anything, there's nothing emerging and coming out from you. You're just sort of doing the thing that you have to do, checking off the box. But if you pray with the reddening sun, and it says mitzvah, the lashon of the Gemara is that the mitzvah is to always daven with the reddening sun, the morning and the evening. And say, okay, just make sure you don't go too late at night, miss the zman, whatever. That's already like secondary. But just so what does that mean? What's so special about praying when the sun is red? How does that create a different kind of prayer? So I think there's a few levels to it. One basic level is, well, if you pray just at a fixed time, like this kind of time, minions at 8 o'clock. So you're praying, but first of all, literally it's fixed. Whereas halakhically, in its essence, tefillah, the times of tefillah are in resonance with the movement of the world. And the time of tefillah changes every single day based on where's the sun, what season are we in, what day. Every single day, this time of sunrise is different. Every single day, shacharit is happening at a different time. Every single day, mincha is happening at a different time, or it's happening. So that's one way of just being connected to sort of this fluid movement of time. It's not keva, it's moving. But why does that make it tachanumim and rachamim? So it hit me that it's a deeper level than that. Just imagine what it's like to stand under a sky full of color. And to pray from that meeting with the world is now showing me its process of change, of renewal. This is the most I can see that there's like some force moving things along here. There's a force of, there's something new and different changing here. And my prayer, all of a sudden, it's just another part of that. I'm part of that. This is the world that I live in. Tefillah happens along with that. Right? There's a lot of things in tefillah, hilchot tefillah, both in the timing and also, the halakha is you need to have a shul with windows. Shul needs to have windows in it. You have to be able to see what's going on outside. If I'm not mistaken, the Rambam even the way he brings up the halakha is it has to be an open window. Like there has to be like air. You have to be touched by the world. Tefillah has to happen in resonance with the world. That's the mitzvah of davening. That's how we can connect to God, to talk to God, by being aware of our place within a universe that God is the creator of, constantly and involved in, and melding and guiding and touching. So that's what the red sun shows us. The sky's, the sky's crying and bleeding and painting. It's painted right now. So I'm also going to do something like that. You know, there's something happening that we join with. Okay. We'll look at one more piece. This is a piece where I may have wrote the wrong thing. It's not Yud Tet, it's Yud Chet. It's the 18th piece in 7 zeros. This is the Rebbe now giving us an eitzah, like a guideline, guidance. And what can we do? How can we actually kind of connect with God this way? So far, he's been talking about his own experiences, right? It's either him just addressing the world or him saying, I can't stand talking to people because they don't get it, so I'm going to talk to the world. Let's hear what the Rebbe says here. If you have never yet tasted the taste of prayer when it's clean of requesting any of your needs. If you've never wept, cried as you speak praises of Hashem. And you've never been so aroused to the point where you feel that in your speech, min Hashem ve'el Hashem, the speech of your tefillah from God to God, right? In a sense, God expressing through you. The prayer is God talking to God. There's something pushing, coursing through your heart and your mind. A revelation of God that you do not understand. Okay. You've never tasted this. The cries, the tears that you cry when you're merely asking God to give you what you need. Nir'ot b'shamayim k'ma'aseh yaldut. Habocher muvakesh ashurim legozim. In Shamayim, from God's perspective, they seem like childish behaviors, like a kid crying and asking for games and treats. That's if the only tears you cry is asking for needs that are separate from any sense of an outpouring towards your Creator. You've never tasted a tefillah that's clean of just asking for it. All you know is to cry and beg for it. So that's like kids. Give me candy. Asezot efa. Try this. Azov al sha'a al shtayim et ha'olam u'she'ona. Leave for an hour or two the world and its, what's the word?
Humdrum.
Humdrum? Hubbub?
Hubbub.
Armumiyut chokhmata u'retzona asher bacha. The world's the crookedness, the sly wisdom and will of the world that's within you. Right? Just being in the world, getting up and doing the things we need to do to get through the world. We absorb so much of this armumiyut, this trickery, this slipperiness. Leave it all behind. V'hitboded yichidi. Don't make yourself alone. If you can, go out to the forest. And see yourself as a simple, whole creature among God's creatures. The first thing in Hitbodedut here has nothing to do with talking. Just go out there and be one of God's creatures among all of God's other creatures. Just be aware that I'm part of this. We're all a part of this world. It's God. This is God's creation. I'm part of that. Together with the sun and the moon, the birds, all the trees, in the forest, Lashir Lifnei Hashem, to sing. Sing together with all of God's creatures before God. Bata legalot, ulomalet kol ha'olam migdulato yitbarach. You've come to reveal and fill the entire universe with God's greatness. Not just sing God's greatness. Hachel na l'mashal, l'achriz lehem u'lechol ha'olam et adon olam, et yidid nefesh. Begin, for example, to cry out and call to them, meaning all of the trees, the birds, the sky. Sing to nature. Adon olam, Hashem alach, yedid nefesh, afarachman. Sing the songs to them. Sing God's songs to the world. V'tir'eh im lo titparetz nafshecha. Just see if your soul doesn't burst out, b'tifarta hachutza, in its glory and beauty, likrat malka v'kona, to greet its creator, its majestic one, Shehit Karev Kivyachol Alecha, who, as it were, is now coming close, has now come close to you. L'hakshiv b'kol shiratcha, to listen to the voice of your song. This is actually an image that the Zohar brings the Baruch Hu and all the tzaddikim coming to listen to the voice of the Zohar, often the voice of someone who's awake at night, learning to sleep. We're going to come hear everything. You want to know what it's like to talk to God from up close? Go into the garden. God will want to come hear you in the garden. Enter the garden, and that's where you'll have that connection. Be part of that. Right? That's what the Torah tells us. Hashem planted a garden, and then makes people and says, okay, come into the garden here. Let's be here together. A fire from above will burn within you. This fire will burn within you that you can only be saved or soothed by a river of tears. The only thing that will satiate that fire is a river of tears. Az tavinat bakashat Moshe Rabbeinu. Then you can understand Moshe's final request. She'yitbalel samuch lepsirato liot ka'of hashamayim. Before Moshe's death, he's asking, let me see the land of Israel, let me go, let me fly, let me just be a bird. Let me just fly. Then you can finally understand what Moshe was really asking. He said to God, let me be a bird. L'saper v'lashir shirat Hashem. Speak and sing the song, God's song, Lifnei Hashem, before Hashem, Ishtokek, yearn. This is the Rebbe's Eitzah, to learn what it means to really pray, to get a real taste of prayer, to get a real taste of prayer. To let ourselves be subsumed into God's world. To let ourselves be exposed to the world. God as part of the world, together with the world. The hitbodedut here isn't just leave everything and go to some place where you are secluded. It's leave the world that takes you out of that intimate sense of belonging and connection and enter the environment that can allow you to feel an intimate sense of connection. Talk to the world, sing to the world, sing to God. He's obviously not the only person who says go out to the forest and talk to God, but the way that he's telling us, where do we orient ourselves? Where do we turn? It's not just I'm all alone. The first step is become attached. To just recognize our simple connection to life. To life. What do we live in? So much of what keeps us from a sense of meaning, of connection, it's just like we live in very narrow corridors. Our lives become very closed within certain parameters. He calls us the sha'on of the world, the hubbub of the daily doings. It's like, when do we stop doing errands? Tefillah is also part of our errands. Okay, well, I have to do errands, and to do errands I need money, and to get money I need a job, and to get a job. We don't only live in that. We're not only made from that. That's not the sum total of our being. But to touch and to take real prayer, we have to go back and reconnect with the basic something. In that place, belonging, connection. Oh, all of a sudden there's a whole world that's connected, that I'm come from, that I'm a part of, that we're all part of God's world. And let's just communicate. For me, all of these teachings that we said tonight, these are like good Purim operations, like good Purim avoda. See, like, it looks like it looks, but to develop that sense of like, man, there's more. Even what it is in front of me, there's more to what it is in front of me. I'm not going to bring it now, but in B'nai Machshava Tova, one of the Rebbe's other books, he's like talking about this whole thing of, some kind of like spiritual connection and experience. He's like, okay, and if you want to tell me that this is nuts, let me just give you an example on a purely physical level. And he goes through a whole sort of very linear logical meditation on a potato. Okay, there's a seed, and you put it in this earth, and the water, and the sun, and the plant, and a thing, and then you eat it, and now you have more energy. And like, if we just slow down and take a moment to contemplate what is happening when we have a tomato in our hand that we eat, that itself will blow our minds, right? That itself will show us that there's some kind of unified existence and life that connects me and the dirt and the seed and the potato and my blood and my flesh and the air and the sun. Like, you just go on and on. Right? Like the first Torah in the Kutei Moharan, Rabbi Nachman talks about looking at the seichel shebechol davar. There's godly seichel in every single thing that there is. And unpacking that and coming closer. And it doesn't mean, again, what you saw there, it doesn't mean you know it. It's not like, I got it. We're just opening ourselves. Just opening ourselves. Any thoughts or questions or anything for the end? Doesn't need to be a long distance call. You can sing to Just thinking about the first thing you saw from me earlier. Lo yada. So you know no. But you know lo yada. Lo yada. What do you know? Lo. You don't know. You know don't know. You don't know no. That's the prayer in Revelation. Shkayach. Thanks for learning.